Get ready to learn, guys. I'm so excited for you guys to learn all this new stuff that's coming your way because it'll make it more efficient for you. It'll make you guys more productive. Really excited about that. I'm excited to see the numbers as they improve and go up. This is going to be this is an awesome one, you guys. This is the start of the rest of our year, and it's just going to take off and be better from here. So Rory's got a couple of things, in the bag for you, ready to go, rock and roll today. So anyway, I think everyone's coming in, Rory. I think we're ready. Welcome. For those of you guys who are joining, welcome. Just get ready for Rory.
All right, perfect. We have a lot of people coming in, and trying to be prompt, guys. We have a lot to cover. Hold on a second. Angie, who's with you? What's going on?
Post?
I'm like, wait a second. This is you're playing a trick on my mind. How did this happen? Well, because this is awesome. All right, so how did this happen?
I flew here.
It's really cool.
Yeah. We needed a visit.
Yes, we needed a visit.
It's been too long.
It's been too long. Well, this is it played it. For those who are like wondering what's going on, this is really cool. You guys are. I just didn't expect you guys to, you see people that are distance apart together. It just throws you off a little bit. This is really cool though. How fun!
Yeah,
how fun! All right. So is Angie showing you how we crank?
Is it enough?
Yes, I'm going to show her how we crank.
That's good. That's good. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So speaking of which, I can only think of the trouble happening over there right now. Jenny and Angie. I'm thinking some tomfoolery is going to be happening if it hasn't already. No? Yeah. That's awesome, you guys. Okay. Let's get to it. I'm gonna pull this up. I want to make sure everything's here. Today is Call to Action Saturday. It's mid-July, and getting everything in motion for an August, September, October doesn't happen August 1st. It happened 90 days before August 1st. So if you want to have a huge, you guys, we have huge cycles of growth. And it has to do with the way our society is. It has to do with the way our families are. So August is when kids start going back to school, correct? So summertime is kind of over. We're usually past the heat, though I think this year might be very hot till September. That's the almanac of Rory. I think it's going to be pretty hot even through September. But that being said, school is going to dictate a lot of patterns of how people live and how everything else kind of gels, right? So in order to have a really awesome, I guess, the growth time, which I'll back up, the growth time is going to start pretty much when kids go back to school. So somewhere in August, it kicks off, and then people start looking for opportunities. They start looking for ways to make more money. They start looking for ways to change, and it gets pretty active, and it's active through November. And then obviously we're all conditioned to take the winter off and go to hibernation and spend a lot of time with family one time a year for whatever reason, right? All these things happen, and there's a little bit of a lull, and then people are on to hey, it's a new year, we got to get things going again. And you guys, it's going to always be this way. I've been watching it for 30 plus years now. The thing is, we're always consuming. It costs money to live. costs money to breathe. People got to make money all the time, and there's all sorts of cyclical things going on. And there's double-digit inflation happening. There's all sorts of stresses on people, and I can go over the indicators left and right, and and I can go. Tanya and I were discussing and it's even here in Orlando. If you look at the vacationers that are coming in there, people just have less money today than they've had before because cost of living's gone up. Is there anybody here that's spending less on groceries than they were even 6 months ago? Anybody? Niall, you're spending less?
Yeah, because I'm eating less.
Okay. So you're spending less? That's
the only
great.
reason. That's the only reason.
I'm going to tell you there's an indicator, and it's an interesting one, and it's going to be something to be aware of. So there's been a lot of gig economy jobs created. Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, right? Well, those services are great when people can afford the extra, the tips, the surcharge they charge on that, or the monthly fees. Well, people are not tipping anymore. You know why? They just don't have it. They're trying to use the convenience. They just don't have it. I'll tell you, like, Instacart numbers are declining when they were been increasing. People, you guys, people are feeling the pressure. Okay. Now, I know this isn't anything new, but my point is, if you're not part of a cash flow creating situation, things are going to affect you even worse than to destroy you. This is what's going to drag your savings out. This is what's going to make you have to cash in 401s and savings plans. It's going to stop you from hoarding cash for your future. It's lifetime events like this, which, by the way, this isn't the first time this has happened. It's part of a cycle. It happens over and over again. If you want my opinion, it's planned. It's not an accident. Okay. And the only way you can literally generate wealth and legacy wealth that you can build on and help generations to come is by creating more cash flow than you're spending. And if your spendings keep going up, that means you got to have a way to create even more cash flow. Well, if you're not involved with the product or service, pause for a very important thing. Come here, bud. Love you. Okay. All right. If you're not part of something that's generating cash flow over cash flow over cash flow, more and more and more, you're not going to get ahead. Okay. And it's one of those things. It's just, I'm just going to put this out there because I feel like somebody here, at least one person, needs to hear this. You deserve to make more money than you need. You deserve to make money that you can actually grow into and not have a problem down the road. You deserve it. And your family is going to require it. I don't think anybody believes that, inflation is going to go backwards. You guys ever see deflation? Just so you guys know, it kind of is one of those like unicorn things that this doesn't exist. And if deflation happens, usually it's a really bad thing. What you need is inflation to stop or halt or slow down, right? Stop for a moment. It tends to keep coming, right? But you want low inflation to allow things to kind of grow naturally. It's part of that economic system. And I don't want to go into how it was developed, but I think people need to understand the whole, the whole crux of income, right? What money means, right? It's all relative. And you only feel the pinch if you're on a set income, because then you are pinched. Because what you used to get by with, you can't anymore because things have changed around you and you haven't changed with it. Every time there's cyclical things like this happening, doors are shutting, doors are opening, right? People are still going to consume. We have to consume to live. If you don't eat, you die, right? You don't take care of yourself, you get sick and your health goes down, your quality of life ends. I mean, all these things are part of life. And no matter what you and I want to do, it's not going to change. So we embrace it. We market products and services that people love, want, and desire, and we create a way that families can create income and live. it's a glorious situation. So when we're out there talking to people and showing them a different way, realize a lot of them are probably in a panic right now because times are worse now than they've been for a while. We've gone through phases like this before. But the one thing we can do is show them where there's hope and a way. And that's what we do in RV marketing. We're giving people hope and a way to create an economic solution that can better their family. And because of the way that it has to be explained, we can only do it one at a time, right? High touch. But we're utilizing technology to create as many of those high touch conversations as we can. And the good news is we just need to keep it steady and consistent, and everybody wins. And you guys, in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish, and I think this is kind of a universal rule, if you're not helping others achieve what they want, there's no way you're going to get what you want. It is all about balancing out energy. If you're pouring energy to help other people grow, it's going to come back to you. I think it's always been that way. I think it's something that I just think it's a universal truth. And obviously that's what we do here. But the more we pour in and help others, when we have this pretty amazing concept all around where we get to go and help people find something they're looking for. They're looking to fulfill a hole in their life. A lot of it financial. A lot of it is, in just seeking other truths and being connected to a good community. I think we all need to be connected, right? I don't think anybody really, really wants to be alone. And we want to be, connected to people that are like-minded and going the right directions that we're going and growing and being part of something, right? We don't want to just exist to exist. We want to be part of something. We get to do all of that here, right? And, we get to share it and pay it forward constantly. And guys, I'm looking at, what we did. And you guys, we just went through a huge surge of change. All of it great, but a huge surge of change. And many kind of pause when the change happens. It's unknown, and several grasped it and ran with it. And our job as leadership is to get everybody to benefit from the changes we put in place. That's why we teach it over and over and over and over again. And everyone that's here right now, you guys are in it for your business. You're dedicated. You're showing up. We're here on Saturday. And I just wanted to put a little bit of information out before we actually just dive in, go to work on it. And the work we're going to do is, obviously we got to build our PBS pages. We got to do our marketing, and we focus on that on Saturdays. But right now, and probably in the next few weeks, the thing we got to focus on the most is getting everybody into the marketing motion. And I guys, I spent I wouldn't say too much time, but a lot of time. And I've been analyzing everybody's individual businesses within RRR. Just going back to all the instructors from 2 years ago, a year ago, the activity that's been happening. And you know what? It's scary with change, no matter how it is, right? Even good change is scary. Because change is constant, but we all get into little grooves and where we like things. I've had a few people come to me now recently, and they're like, "Man, Rory, I really miss the Trello system. It seemed easier for me." And I was like, "Well, it was easy because we figured out how to make it work for what we're doing. But we hit a brick wall with Trello anyway. We had to get out of that system regardless. We outgrew it." It was getting very cumbersome to administrate. It was becoming a nightmare for Matt in activating the PBSs and finding people in the right place. We broke the constraints of what it was meant to do. So we had to change. And the new CRM, which is constantly being evolved because we get to do that now, is so effective when you know how to use it. And that's where the change is. And you know what? We're just going to keep training on it. We're going to be constantly, recording things and updating things. Dina did a very awesome training last Saturday, like she always does. And I'm just editing it down a little bit for size for people to watch it. And we'll put it on there. And then Dina, please record today, because I think we'll just put a library of them up so people can repeat and see them. And at the same time, we have people that are duplicating faster than ever. So for those of you that are like kind of stalled out, you're waiting for things, I'm just going to give you permission to just dive in and go. Like just pick it up and go. The best way to learn it is to go. Just go. Right? Remember, it's super forgiving. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And if you mess up something, even in the database, we fix it. Okay. There's rules and protocols so that the system works and doesn't get bogged down and that messaging is done in the right place. So we do things, I missed the foresight on a couple of things data wise, and those mistakes are costing us all time. I didn't realize the +1 needed to be there for an international scope, and so we have a plethora, like 500,000 leads that need a +1 added to them before we text and message them, and it's just what it is, and it's too problematic to go back and fix them all, because if we do, it creates other issues that are even bigger problems. So we just got to manually change them. Well, little things like that happen, right? And I kick myself because I feel like I should have known better. And when we loaded the data, we could have fixed that at that time, and you missed it. But you know what? You go forward. And the thing that's actually good about it is, to me, it's a maybe, right? Everything that seems bad is a maybe. The odd thing about it, and I'm gonna let you guys know something on this because I beat myself up. And I think we all do that, right? We beat ourselves up like, I should have been doing my B marketing already. I put off another week. I put off another week. I put off another week. Well, I beat myself up. I should have caught that data. I should have caught that data. But here's what you guys need to know. Going forward, I actually have I have something I can measure old data from new data on the way things are working. And I didn't have that if I wouldn't have done that. So it's been a good thing in a report way. So I'm also going to go in here and just say, for those of you that have been putting it off and putting it off, don't put it off any longer. Like what we have right now is so sound, you need to go. But also, by putting it off, you now have a measurement of, hey, I didn't really do much with the stuff before, or I brought in 5 people before. Now I start with the new system. What's that going to create for me? And go. Is it really easier? Rory says it's easier. I think everybody else has been saying it's better. Try it for yourself. And I wanted, it's not even so much a challenge, it's just permission. Go. Right. So what we're going to do right now is, I mean, if you don't have the PBS Vortex up, I think most everybody here does. I've been looking at that list so long. But if you don't have it, let's get it set up. And I guess we'll walk through that process of how we do that. Everybody here should have a staff account. If there's anybody here that doesn't have a staff account in the CRM, raise your hand. We'll solve that problem first. Carol Enns doesn't have a staff account. Okay. Mary Sullivan. Okay. Pian Stevens. Ted, you and I need to have a phone call today. Ted, after the training today, are you available? About 3 o'clock Eastern. Yes? Okay. So I'll take care of Teddy. Teddy's mine. I'll take care of him today. So Ted, just watch. You and I are going to get on a separate call. Everybody else. Okay, let's go through. Some of you guys, I'm pretty sure, have a staff account, which means you have the ability to get everything on there. So let's focus on you guys here. Let's get the help there. Right. MSIs.
Denise has a staff account.
She does.
You can put your hand down, Denise.
Yeah, Denise, you have a staff account. All right. So P. Ann Stevens, I'm gonna go pull your stuff up. Hold on. I'm moving this over here.
May I explain? It might help. If you have a PBS Vortex, you probably have a staff account.
Yes, both Jackie has one and Francine both have staff accounts. Your links are in there. Get with your instructor if you don't have your password. Richard, you don't have one yet. I'll take care of you.
Right. So I'm gonna show you guys, and I know some people have already seen it, but repetition is the mother of all learning. Where's my who is there one that I can set up?
Gary, I see you shaking your head. No, we'll take care of you today.
I need an example. I need an example to show something. So give me one I can set up and do a walkthrough on this. Let me go to PN Stevens. Hold on. If I can find them in the system. Yeah, I'm doing exactly PN Stevens. Now this is going to sound funny. I don't remember seeing this in the database. And I was in the P's recently a lot. So I'm going to try Ann Stevens. Okay, PN Stevens. I'm going to ask you to talk. There we go. What is your PBS?
My name is Patricia Ann Stevens. Patricia. And,
Patricia?
yes, sir.
What's your PBS, Patricia?
What's that? 1W05. Talk about?
Oh. Hold on. Okay, okay, tell me what that is again.
1W05.
1W05?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kathleen says she does have a staff account.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, I'm pulling you up in the system anyway. Pretty sure where do you live?
Florida?
Sorry?
Spring Hill, Florida?
Yeah, for some reason, I'm not I can't find her. Um,
I'll go look. Hang on. Rory, her email is P125 73157
Again, PE.
P125
P.
73157 at Gmail.
Five, seven, three, seven. 315.
Found it. I'm not seeing the customer account, but I found it.
That happened to me too. When I was searching for a staff account, sometimes I couldn't find the customer account. I had to go out and back in again, and then it popped up. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm checking because it's like usually it pulls right up, but this one I found the staff member account. Okay. So, all right. So I got this. I see where you're at, Patricia, and you have a staff account for sure. And you're not currently in the vortex. So this is a good example for me. So I'm going to keep that. And I'm about to get a bunch of people in the CRM too. So Randy, you have a staff account. You're working. The PBS Vortex, you absolutely have the staff account. And I queried this. So far, everybody here has one, which is good. Yeah, Randy, you definitely have one. Desiree Henry, I'm pretty sure you have one too. All right, so I'm going to do a review here. Okay, there we go. Knowing that you're in Kathleen's group, I probably can't do Patricia because she's probably done and is waiting, but I'm going to check. All right, so we're gonna do a bunch of stuff here really quick on review, but let's see. Yep. All right, Patricia, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna come back to it in a second on you, Patricia. So this is good for me today. Hold on. Thanks for your patience, everyone. So anybody that does what I do, and I type RRR247.com and the CRM comes in automatically. So I'm trying to go to the CRM has kind of confused me on the searches, but it's working. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to try to keep this organized. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go through this instructor training for everybody, and you guys, I'm going to go through it kind of step by step today because it's something that is so needed. So, I'm going to just pull this up, right? We're on 247.com/instructor. All right. Now, if you're struggling on what to do or how to do it, it is laid out step by step by step right here on this page. And you've got your instructors and your GSIs and PSIs and MSIs and everybody that's training on the same process. You guys, we are all doing the same thing. It is a conveyor belt of success. It is, right? And we're all repeating the same thing. So anybody can help you because everybody's doing the same thing. If you run into an issue or a problem, I promise you, everybody that's been doing this has already ran into it before too. So that's why we have our study halls and we have our meetings. We cover things over and over again, and we have our instructor calls, and we do all these things so we can keep everybody up to speed and get anything that's slowing them down out of the way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you like where everything's at, and I'm just going to walk you through it. Okay. So we have our BRT process. I don't spell it out here because that's what's covered in the V marketing page, right? So I'll reference that page here too. RRR247.com/V marketing. And we're going to keep this up to date with trainings and, other videos and stuff that's on there to show how this is done. And you guys, we keep it easier and easier. And if you ever feel like you need a refresh, just come watch what's on here. All right. Or attend everything we do on Saturdays. So, Saturdays at 1:00 Eastern, Dina, Niall, or, they're running it because they are incredible at it. They teach you how to do the V marketing, efficient ways to do it. And I'm going to go into that even more, ongoing, right? Like a broken record, because it's the changes that make things better. And it allows you to have the output you need for your business to move where your goals are, right? So that's there. Now I'm going to go back to this one. We're on instructor, and this is the BRT, and that's build relationship and trust. Then we get them into the PBS. For those that are part of the VIP program, we have a VIP presentation that you are allowed to do if you can support it. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it, right? That's something you're going to be able to grow into later. Don't worry about it. Then everybody, you guys, we got to make sure that they have received the ebook and the audiobook, right? And that they've read or listened to it before we go to session 1. So session one is something we schedule, a couple days after they get their PBS purchased, right? So we do the BRT, they watch the Keystone video, they buy their PBS, right? $98.95, $49 activation, $48.95 every 90 days. They're set up with the PBS, and then we're going to, a couple days later, giving the techs time to get their PBS set up. We schedule their session one, but you want to make sure that they are reading the book. So that's like their whole homework, is to read and or listen to the book. Marketing is freedom. When you get on for your appointment for session one, if they have not read my book, you need to reschedule. And it's because you don't need to be training them on everything, and you need to have a safe assumption that they understand the basics of how we do things, the basics of marketing and the understanding that comes from that book. And we give it to them both in the ebook form so they can read it, and the audiobook so they can listen. Those two forms together, they're going to get the information. And if they've read the book and you go on to session one, I'm going to go ahead and open this. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to go right into session one right here. Everything is spelled out. And then when you need session two, it's right there. We'll spell it out. Into session three, I'm going to open that up and spell it out. But you guys, I'm going to be very methodical on the things that we do and why we do things a certain way. There is a method to the madness, and it's always about efficiencies. Okay. So my job as a CEO of this is to eliminate any waste of time that I can. If they can be automated, we automate it. If we can speed up the system so we spend less time in anything, that's what we do. The one thing we cannot automate, speed up, is our conversations and the high touch interaction we have with that student. It takes as long as it's going to take. And typically the BRT is 30 to 45 minutes. And that's because you got to break it down, get to know them, understand that are they a good fit for your business as well? Because you're not just working with them today, you're working with them in theory tomorrow, 6 days from now, 60 days from now, 6 months from now, ongoing, right? You're constantly going to be working with them every week if they show up for themselves. And so we spend that time. And once you spend all that time in that BRT, after that, it's session one, session two, session three. It's duplicating the process, getting them going, letting them learn how things go. They learn how to fish this way. And some people just take longer to go through the sessions, and that's fine. We're there for them. And our job is to be there when they're ready, right? Our job's not to chase them down and make them come. We want to invite everybody because, you guys, there's things going on where, people give up on themselves. They've been trained to do that. They think, oh, why would it work for me? It doesn't, nothing works for me. They beat themselves down. We're just to be an uplifting messenger, get them to come to the events, come to the trainings, be available on everything we do, whether it's a Zoom meeting or a live training. Whatever we're doing is invite them in and let them know they can, learn from this, right? And they can be around. And you know what? We know not everybody's going to turn on right away. Yeah, that would be wonderful, but it's not a reality. People got to get out of their own way. Some people got to get a little bit of comfort with it. And that's why we teach it over and over again and show it over and over again. Is so we can help people become comfortable. This is uncomfortable for most people. These are things you wouldn't have learned anywhere. No one would tell you how to do this stuff other than here. And so it's going to be uncomfortable just because it's a change. It's a new way of things, but it's a change that people need to change their income and their position and their lifestyle and their reach for it. So when I go into session one, it's all spelled out, right? So again, make sure they've read the book. If they haven't, reschedule. It's okay to reschedule. Right? It's not going to go easier for them if they haven't read the book. It's actually going to be harder, and it's going to mean you're going to spend a lot more time explaining things that you shouldn't be explaining. Okay, and I'm gonna pause for a second, and I'm going to go into the philosophy of marketing. When marketing is done properly, sales becomes order taking. That's what we want everything to be, including the training. All the training messages and the marketing that we do with that. I mean, we're marketing. Even how to market, we have to market it and teach it. That's what it is. Marketing is conveyance of an idea. So if you let the tools do the marketing, you're the order taker, meaning you're just guiding them down and helping them do what we've already been taught to do. If you have to educate them on what it is and what it means, that is a lot of work that you should be doing. That was something that I consider my job to get out of your way. And I've done a very good job of that It just took me forever to get all these sessions and stuff in place. So make sure that you've allowed the marketing and education that happens in Marketing is Freedom to take place before you do session 1. Now, I go to key things to be aware of in this process is, make sure you did a great BRT the first time. And maybe you didn't ask different questions, you didn't get to know things. If you didn't feel you did a great BRT, it's okay. There's always forgiveness. But before in session 1, you might want to retouch on some things before you get going. And that's just where you go. Like maybe you're like, man, I don't really get to know like what their family's like or who, how their things are. This is the time to bring that up. But this is the forgiveness time. If you did a great job in the BRT, you don't need to bring it up again. But if you missed, no problem. You clean it up here. Okay. Now, make sure you know your way around a Google Calendar. If you don't know the Google Calendar, this is one of the things that we probably should do more training on, and we do constantly. I know we do it in the study halls too. But you need to know how the Google Calendar works because we're all using the same tools. We use Google Suite, we use Google Docs, we use a Google Calendar, so we can all be in sync. I'm always the thing like, there's always going to be something that seems better. The grass is always greener, but if it doesn't work for everybody, it's not greener, right? It's not better. What's the best solution is one that everybody can work with. And Google Calendar has just proven itself out to us for a long time. And if we all know one system, we all can work with it, that's an advantage. Now, knowing that you're learning the most by doing, that's the truth. It doesn't matter how much you read this, watch it. Once you start doing it, that's how you're going to learn, right? You can watch somebody ride a bike. You can read books on how to ride a bike. You can study it. You can watch film on it. But until you actually go get on the bike itself and ride it for yourself, you're never going to learn it, right? You can't physically learn it. Okay. You can understand it, but not learn it. And we need people to learn how to do this because this is how you fish. This is how you can create the value that you can offer others to help them to achieve what they want to achieve by tying them to the vehicles that we build with, right? That's what this is about. So this is how session 1 should go. Be sure that you did a great BRT. If not, this is your chance to add to it. Okay. Then when you're on the phone with them for session 1, start by recapping the BRT and or solidifying it. Just like, hey, remember we're here to make 500 to 1,000 a week, whatever the goals are. Okay. Just reiterate it. And then you're going to read exactly this. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to actually add to this right now. I've been doing this even more since we first put this up there. And for those that are watching this training, it's in there, but I'm going to emphasize some things. And it's a great time for me to go into edit. I'm going to go to edit page. And this is everything in here is exactly what you should do. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Everything here is just exactly perfect. I've made some changes recently. I just realized that. Great. Great. And you guys, this is verbatim what I say. Verbatim. Now you can say exactly this, or you can reword it so it's easier for you to say it, with your tones or how you like to enunciate things. But this is the gist of what you need to say. Okay. And I say that right there, or modify it where it's easy for you to say the same thing. Okay. You're going to send the email from the flow that's called session 1. It's just called session 1. And then there's PBS session number 2, but session 1 email you're going to send out, right? And you're going to send that to them while you're on the phone at this point, and then you're going to just read exactly this for them. Okay. Now it's really important that you cover all aspects of this, because if you don't promote what you're doing for them, they're not going to assume you're helping them. See, the way we built session 1 out, session 2 out, especially, is to allow us to go do work for them while they're studying and going through the video. We don't need to be on with them when they're going through an hour video or a 55-minute video. We don't need to be on with them. What we need to be doing is doing our marketing or follow up with our, with students doing the work that's helping to build the team, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing during this time. So, and this allows me to effectively be building while they're actually watching this. And there is a solid manifestation process that's built into the entire what we call the flow, right? We're everything that I know that works to make this type of a atmosphere healthy, vibrant, and full of success is built into the flow itself, right? I've just isolated it down, analyzed it, wrote it all out, and again, copiously, right? And they're gonna go to session one, they're gonna watch that video, and then they're gonna get right back to you, right? And then we're gonna send them the PBS number one, welcome to your system, and that's gonna have their PBS information on it. Okay. And we're gonna walk them through. Now, you know what? You need to explain the following. And this you can like do this verbatim. You can read all this. I probably should make this. I should make this blue so it's the script. Okay. Oh, I can't. It wouldn't let me on my thing. Right now, right here, I got this is where I got to edit it. Okay. I've had people bring that up to me. I didn't complete my thought, and I'm back to it. Right, and I'll get rid of that one period. All right. So you're going to cover all this, right? And it's this is all based on what they need to know for their service. And you guys, there is one thing in here. I'm going to add, okay? This is something that we need to put a lot more emphasis on. And I've been doing it, but I didn't have it added to this. And so I wanted you guys to understand this as we're going through. When you're going through session one, make sure you explain these things. And this is pretty much verbatim, right? What's my verbiage I use up below? Let's see. Okay. And it's really important that they understand what they get, you guys, because you know what, if we don't promote how great what the stuff is, they won't see it. They know you don't know what you don't know, right? And so that's something that's really good to do. Then you walk them through here, and you want to make sure you walk them through all this stuff on their PBS, how to get into it, all of that. Explain the different categories, or explain the different menus, the two menus. Everything in here is exactly the way you should state it. Okay. And if you need to, like, copy and paste it, reword it yourself to what's better for you, great. Or you can just go directly from this, right? Session 1. And then you're going to get them into Zoom, or you're going to use, WhatsApp or whatever you use to do a screen share, right? And I'm going to say it is so important that when you're into the process of putting them into Velveeta, that you help them change the links. They've got to see that done. And also that's you. It's the law of reciprocation. If they do something that they're supposed to do and you reciprocate by helping them out, they're going to realize that you're honoring what you say you're doing as their instructor, but also they're going to feel like, okay, this is they're going to get in a trusting habit of, do what I'm supposed to do. I'm getting the support I need. I do what I'm supposed to do. I get the support I need. It's all necessary. Don't skip it. Like if for some reason I can't modify all their links right then, I get it started and I say, look, I'll let you know when these are all done. You understand what I'm doing? I'm going to finish these for you. That's acceptable, but it's, because sometimes you might have gone a little over and you got to get the next appointment, but it's so important to do that. And I'm going to say this right now. If they're not able to enroll, at least as a promoter, okay, at this point, I'm going to put a lot of pressure, like, hey, everything that's here for me to help you build, I can get you it as an affiliate. It gives you an ID. Like I'm going to put the time in now because you're going to do it eventually. Do it right then. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, they did everything, even though I haven't done it. You guys, I have a huge statistical history that proves that people upgrade when they get the money to do it. But it's because I do this. Even though they didn't sign up yet, I'm like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do the next thing, which I'm going to make you an affiliate. It doesn't cost anything, but you only get paid on your direct accounts. You're not going to benefit from all the growth I'm doing and all the marketing, building the left team and right team until you do this. And once you do it, you're going to come in on my right team and you get the benefit of everything that I'm doing. But I'm going to go ahead and do the work for you. Let's get things set up so we're moving ahead, because you'll find a way to do this. And you put that out there and you do the work. They will find a way. They will find a way. And when they upgrade, don't be shocked. And then their system's ready and they have that there and they get credit and they understand and they have a reason to go forward. That's the most important part, because now you're going to get them into session 2. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about session 2. If they are sharp, right? And you have the time or you're getting them set up for the next session 2, like tomorrow or whatever, you can go ahead and send them session 2 email and tell them to do that as homework before you guys talk. It's 55 minutes, 5 seconds. If they watch that before you get on live, you can just go right into getting them into the PBS Vortex. You can go right into showing them their homework they're supposed to be doing to get them ready for session 3. Okay. Now I'm just going to state that here. Now I'm going to go into session 2. And in session 2, right, we're going to send them the session 2 email. Now I might have already sent that to them and walk them through the 1, 2, 3 steps of that on session 1 to get them ready for my session 2 meeting. But if I feel like I need to, kind of walk them through it some more, then I'm just going to operate session 2 the same way we did session 1. Is they get the email, they watch it for 55 minutes and call me back. I'm going to be doing marketing, right? So I already scheduled it for 3 hours. If I give them the homework to watch the video for 55 minutes, my session 2 will only be 2 hours because they watch the video, and 2 hours is going to be what? Me getting them set up in the PBS Vortex, getting that activated, signing them up in Savings Highway Global, getting that activated, then modifying their pages. And the only things we can't modify yet are their PBS Vortex links, because it's going to take a couple days for that to get set up. And that's fine. We're going to do that in session 3. And in session 2, and it's all spelled out here. The main thing here is, we cover what they get in the PBS Vortex. You guys, again, verbatim go through this. Okay. We cover Savings Highway Global. We cover all that stuff that's right here. All right. Um, I do need to make some edits on this. You guys are going to see me do that right now. I just highlight the stuff that's here. Now, I bring up the affiliate space here as a reminder, but I should have already covered that in session 1. Okay. But the note here is under troubleshooting. Okay. And I like to encourage them to buy a tune or a box of snaps and just try it as a customer. But it's there, and I just covered all that there. There's also one more. I just had to modify that verbiage. And then I just gotta make sure that I show, let's see, the session 2 going into session 3 email. And you guys make sure you guys all have the most recent templates from this page, the flow. Right? These are all been updated recently. If you haven't updated these in the last 3 weeks, so if you haven't updated these before July of 2024, you need to get the new ones. Okay. And it doesn't hurt to double check them. They're just have them in there. And I'll also make a note if you want to make them, a little bit more colorful, like you want to highlight things, like put this like in blue or a little bit bolder, for instance, on the keystone, you can do all that. I did on mine. Let's see, I'll show you an example. I'll show you what I did. And I'm just showing you guys can do this if you want to make it a little bit more fancy. Don't get too carried away with it, right? But like, here's my Zoom meeting link. I made that just a little bit bigger, right? And I'll stop that one. I'm going to show you my getting started. See, I just made it this a little bit bigger and bolder, just so it stands out. But it's the same message that's in there. But this is that's it, right? So it's all right there. But I just made them bigger, and you're welcome to do that. That's awesome. One little or that I got to put in there. It doesn't convey from this to your actual email, but you can do that. I just made those bold there, but that little thing like that, you're welcome to do. But it's all about be the same, right? It all should be consistent. Everything should be the same. So I'm going to go back to session 2 here, right? Session 2 is getting them into Savings Highway Global, making sure their PBS Vortex set up. And for that, I'm going to go here for the example. So here's Patricia Stevens, right? You haven't subscribed yet, but you get this created. And you guys, when we create a new subscription, we all have the ability to do that right here. New subscription. And in session 2, right? We're all right here. We're covering all that. And then it says here, then you will be creating a subscription for them in the PBS Vortex, following the protocols located here. I'm going to click on this. And these protocols, I try to make them very, very specific, very spelled out, right? It says, here's a short version. Make sure you go through the creating a new account for the PBS Vortex below. Prior to using the short version, because it's all spelled out, right? It does it exactly. So I'm just going to show you guys again. It says it right here. So I'm going to go into that mode. And we select a billing plan, and we're going to go for PBS Vortex monthly fee. We don't put anything on the first billing date because it'll activate when they use it. All right. The subscription name is PBS Vortex. It's not Betty Smith PBS Vortex. It's not PBS Vortex for John Doe. It's just PBS Vortex. That's all it needs to say, just like it says. Don't get creative here. All right. If you do, it creates a problem for us and a lot of labor. So just PBS Vortex. Then it says the description, right? And in the description is just this. It's just that. Then you select the customer that it's for. Okay, whoever that is, right? So I'll go you select the customer who it's for. Now this goes to their customer account, but this is your student that you have that they should already have a staff account. So when you're in session 2, you should be in your account here to make them there. So like, let's see, I'll Patricia Stevens. She already has an account. So I'm not going to actually set this up, but I'll go Patricia Stevens. My search is taking a while. I'm going to go to terms and conditions. There. And I can put Patricia Stevens in. Now there's 2 of them. And if that's, you make sure it's the right one and make sure one of the duplicates. This is why we were probably having a problem pulling this up before, but I'll put Patricia Stevens in here and it's going to create a vortex for her. Right. And I hit save down here on the right and it's going to go create this. Okay. Now, when you're walking her through it, you're going to have her log into her CRM because you're going to take her and upgrade her to be a staff member. Right? You're going to take her, you're going to pull up her account and make her a staff member. And once you make her a staff member, she's going to get an email sent to her with the password and all that stuff. Right? So that's let's see, I can do one of mine. Let's see, she's already a staff member, so you create them as a staff member. The permissions by default goes to instructor. That's perfect. And then down here, you'll click auto assign a password and hit save. And then you want to make sure you put their information in here, right? Whoever the GSI is, PBS Vortex will be no for now. You don't select any of these things here, right? You're going to put GSI, CSI, MSI, instructor, MSI Elite, the Vortex enroller, which should be you as their instructor, their username in Velveeta. This is their username. And then the affiliate count is 10 unless you know they have a bunch of affiliates. Okay, this 10 by default, right? And then as you got them set up in Savings Highway Global, you're going to have that's put in there. And if you have their birthday, great, put it in there. Otherwise, the Twilio phone number, this Twilio thing here, you can make that enabled if you want. But when they're not going to get a Twilio phone number until they activate their PBS Vortex. And that's going to take a day or two. They'll get their Twilio phone number in there. And now they're able to do everything we do in the B marketing. But they're not yet ready for it. You want to get them ready for it so that they can be ready to go as soon as that's ready. It takes a couple of days. Then we go back to this. I'm going to close that. I can close that. You guys see where it's at. I'm going to go back here to this is session 2. You're going to modify their pages, and then you're going to walk them through what they do in step 1. Now, this email that you send them that is session 2 going to session 3. I'm gonna pull up the email right here so you guys see what I'm talking about. You send them this email, and it's spelled out what to do. Now I do this on mine. I give them the Velveeta link to get set up, and usually that's done. This is done. All right. Even if they're an affiliate, it's done. Okay, and this explains this. That explains that. This tells them here they should get it set up with, link to set up with your PBS Vortex. I give them the link to do that so they remember we did it, and they should have already done that. Or I'm going to walk them through that, right? So I send them this email and just kind of walk them through it. Third is sign up for that. They've already done that. Great, this is done already. I put that on there if they've done it already, right? Then there's a Dropbox link they'll need. That's there. Here's a Google Drive they'll need. That's there. Right? And there's a YouTube channel. They can subscribe to that so they get the trainings we do. It's all there on number 2. Number 3 is the kiosk offers, right? They sign up for Cash Network Direct, right? That's still the link there. We don't have a DTCA number now, so they can just put this in there. There's a lot of things in there when they fill that out they don't need, right? But you need to give them their PBS URL in there. And I would walk them through signing that up there so if they have any questions, they get it done. This is session 2. RoboForm, they can sign up and get the referral link, computer, and they can do this on their own. You can give that as homework. Then number 4 is what they need to be focused on. This is what you want to make sure they're doing and walk them through this. You know, they can recap session 1 and 2 anytime, but you want them to understand what's going on in the PBS Vortex, and you're going to set an appointment for session 3 where you're going to help them with those links. They're not going to have them for a couple days, but you're going to help them with those links to get them in. It's important they get those modified. But while they're waiting for that to get set up, you want them to get as far in this as they can. I ask all my students to set this up over the weekend. Like, can you spend some time on the weekend and start knocking this stuff out? You know, anybody can get their PBS done this way in a couple weekends. If they really want to do it, they can do it in one weekend. The sooner they get these pages modified, learn all this, the better it is, because I want them to understand this before I put them into V marketing. So session 3 is to make sure they're doing all this, and then I can get them into V marketing so we can get them going on that money, the now money. They're building their PBS, which is long-term income. Okay. So, and it's all the core of what we do. You guys get it, but we got to get them doing all that stuff. But this is a Google backup part. This is affiliate disclosures, the homepage posts. You know, this is the DTC ambassador pages. I really should edit. I'm going to edit that right now. It's and this is the one video that it's going to be redone before too long, but that's there. I'll hit update. And this is session 3. Okay. Session 3 that they've done this. You walk them through doing this. All right. So this is session 2, getting them ready for session 3. And you just show them they're going to be doing these pages and just watch it do the work. Right. And then say, we're going to get on session 3, and anything you're having a problem with, we'll address it then. And also you want them to watch the IBO video. Okay. Now on the IBO video, I got a number to put in there. Yeah. And we have, you guys, we have a direct number. Every instructor should have it. GSIs and above have it now already. CSIs and above have it. A direct number that we're using specifically for gym for IBOs. It's a 949 number. Okay. And I'm just going to walk you guys through that. This process is going way quicker, but you want to show them this in session 2. And then the conclusion of that is, you know, think it over. If they're ready to do it now, great, get them set up. Because we know the sooner we get them in the mode, the better. But you can if they want to think about it, you can bring it up in session 3. And then when you guys get on session 3, now I'm going to go back to session 3. You're going to be working on adding their links to the PBS Vortex if they got that set up. Okay. Most everybody gets that set up. It makes so much sense after the session 2 video. And you're going to, you know, go through and modify the links. And this will give you a good chance to see if they've actually been modifying their pages. Right. And if not, then you got to set them, hey, let's get your pages modified and let's make sure you're getting that done. And I want to make sure that you're pretty much through modifying step 1. I don't care about step 2 yet. If they'll be able to figure out step 2 and 3 if they get step 1 done. So as they complete step 1 at least and into step 2 and beyond, then you send them the V marketing email. Now I really should edit this page and make this a little more emphasized. Okay. I'm going to go to heading 2, and I'm just going to emphasize this. You guys, this is something that a lot of people are not, this is the bottleneck area we got to fix. Okay. That might be a little bit big on the sizes. I'll go to 3. Session 3 is just making sure they're doing the pages and modifying. And session 3 should be about anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes. And then you guys, when they're learning how to do the V marketing, you have them study that, and then they're going to watch it done because we have the videos on there. And then you can invite them to when you're doing it, get in, it's cutting the study halls. But that's where this just goes, right? And this is the progression. And then you guys, we do V marketing every Saturday, right? Every Saturday for 2 hours. And we also do it Monday through Friday. They can watch it, and you want to set that up there. And now the most other important thing to do, I'm going to update this, is to deal with the calendar. And I want to really stress this. So I have my Google Calendar. I'm going to pull it up, right? And I got all my day stuff set. I got appointments I got to move around, everything, right? Like we all work with this. But the most important thing is getting them into the calls on the Saturdays, on the Mondays and Tuesdays. And I just updated, not this, I'll go there, hold on. Let me close this, update. You guys are seeing this live in this training. Make sure all my work is saved. Bear with me, right? And then I got to go back and back up everything in here. Right here on the, what is this page? Weekly Zooms, right? Thanks to Stacy, I've updated this. I didn't realize it was so behind. But here's the Mondays, the Tuesdays, the Wednesdays, the Thursdays, the Saturdays, and even down here, right? I cover what we do on the Saturdays and all the training and stuff that we do. It's the same thing I send out in the email alerts. This is updated. But then right here is the instructor calls they can attend anytime. So you can send them to this weekly Zooms. In fact, we probably ought to add that into session 3. I also just realized one more thing. So I'm going to just bold this. Okay. And we're gonna cover that, what that means. I'm also going to go to session 2. Hmm. So you want to show them that right here, and I'm going to put once they are staff. There is the final update thing on that. But you want to show them where the Zoom meeting rooms are, right? I mean, guys, this is good that we have this right here, right? Just show them where they're at. And then you want to get them added to the calendar. And what I want to focus with on the calendar, folks, is this. So I'm adding tons of people to mine. All right. Now, if you're an instructor and you understand this, you don't need to be on everybody else's group, right? It gets too big. All right. So once you are a GSI and above, okay, I want you to do the following. So right now, if you're, brand new in here, and you're working up and you're getting to CSI, it's okay that you're on a shared group with a bunch of people for these calendars. Once you're a GSI and above, though, I expect you to do the following. You will create the same thing on your calendar. So I'll come right here and I'll create one. Like I'll go to this one, for instance. I don't need to be on this one. Someone else created this one, which is great. She's got her own team. I can delete myself from that one. So you'll delete yourself from the one that you're on, that you've been added to with everybody else. You're going to delete it. And then you're going to create your own, right? You'll create your own and it'll say the same thing. And then now this is the one you're going to add people to. So you'll always pull it up, edit the event, and you'll add your guest to it. And these should be your students that you're working with. And going forward, okay. Now GSI and above. Now, if you're GSI, you don't need to go back and add everybody in. You just start going forward from GSI, adding people in. They're already in. They know what they're doing by then. You're working forward on your new students, and you want to do that for everyone that you do. And this way, you can send out notes and updates and other things as well. Okay, and it also gets it to where we don't have 500 people in a thing and it causes an issue. It's happened already. So what you want to do is create your own, and then you're gonna create. So this is Saturday. We got 2 on Saturday, right? We got the 11 a.m. and we got this one. So you'll create your own, right? Then you got Mondays. Mondays, we got the Bella Vita one for 2 hours. Tuesdays, we got 2 of them, right? We got the instructor call. And once you're putting them in here on session 2, you want to invite them to this instructor call and then the must attend Tuesday night call, right? Wednesdays are when I train my guys on being marketing. It's also when I have my study hall. So I put everybody that I'm working with in my study hall. Then we have our Brain Food Academy call at 8:30 Eastern. I put everybody into that. So that's when you need to create again. And again, you would just come here and create your own, call it the same thing, add guests. And under the location and the description, you put the link of where it's going to be. Just look at the information that's on the one that you're removing from and just add it, right? Like copy it over. So I would come here, for instance. I'll change this. I'm just going to make it Brain Food Academy. Just because. Okay. You would just copy this. You got this link that it's going to be. Right, and I'll hit save. I'm not going to delete it yet. All events, fine. I'll come down here and right next to it, I'll create a new one. I'll hit save. That's my new one. The old one's on the right. Now I'll open this up and I'll grab the link. I'll copy that link. Right, and I can go ahead and close. I'm going to go to the one I'm creating. Add description, add location, and right here it says, I'm the one that created it. There's nobody in it yet. See? Brand new. And then I'll hit save. And then going forward, I'll add everybody to that one. What we need to do is break away at some point from the Google Calendar that we're shared with to create our own for our teams we're building with. All right. Now, if you're not a GSI, just be ready to do that when you become a GSI. Okay. Up until then, let your instructor and the support team help you. All good. All right. And then you would come in here and you can stay on this if you want, or you can delete yourself off of it because you know what it's for. Right. I got 75 guests on mine. That's great. When it gets to 200-300, I should have a lot of, GSIs I've created that are doing their own updates on this. And we put them out on the schedule and everything else. Now, and then when I'm done, I'll go delete it. I'm just going to delete myself from this one because I don't need to do another one. But that's how you do it. Okay. Thursdays, we have an 8 p.m. Oh, this is one that's done every third. So like you guys, as it comes up on the 18th, this week, we got Blanca teaching stuff, and this is on Tune, but it's just going to be on Bella Vita products. It's actually it's various things, right? And it's productadvisory.live. There's a password for it. It's all there for everybody to see. I'll update that. Okay. And then we have right after that is our, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We have our MSIs that are teaching. It's basically a study hall for everybody. New things, new page builds. It's a very popular one, but that's that one. So you add them to that one, and you add everybody, you guys. I guess, you go through here, you just hit edit and you add their email address that they use for Google right here, and you save them. Like you add them all to this. And you should know how to do that by now, but you just add them there, and you want to do that to everybody in session 2. But if you missed it in session 2, make sure you get it by session 3. You want them invited to everything that's there, right? And then Saturday, we already covered that, but that's a Saturday. Now, the only other thing that you want to add them to as a special thing is the first Monday of every month with, unless it's moved for some reason, we have the Bella Vita Founders Call. Now, it's the same time, but I'd like to do it as a separate thing because that's just an extra special update, right? And then you guys, we always train right after it. So the other one's still there. But, if you don't, you want to let them know there. That way they know, like, hey, don't miss that one no matter what. But you guys, we have a huge attendance now coming on there. And we teach the BRT and other process for the Bella Vita only on Mondays. And then obviously we have the same thing we do on Saturdays. But you guys, we have the best of both worlds with everything. And just keep showing up. We're going to cover it. And the instructor calls are where we absolutely focus on instructor needs and going forward with everything. Right. And I'm going to emphasize this on the calendar. You guys should learn how to do this. Get with your instructor. You cover it in study halls. Our MSIs are good at teaching all the stuff I'm coming over here. But when you're doing the instructor, this is the process to go through. And I'm going to just say this. To be a good teacher, you only have to be one lesson ahead. So you could be brand new at this. Okay. And I'm going to say this. You could be brand new with this. I'm going to go here. Where am I at? You can be brand new at this. And you sign somebody up with the BRT and you got them the PBS, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do session 1. Well, just come read it. Just go learn the lesson and then walk them through it. And I built it so you could do it verbatim, top to bottom. And if you have an instructor to help you, great. But you know what? You can do it yourself. They don't know how it's supposed to go. If you mess up, they're not going to know. And when they get trained, they're going to learn it again and again anyway. It was all built to be forgiving so that we can do our best and learn from it. That's how this goes. What the worst case scenario, they're going to come here and learn how to do it. And like, oh, I didn't quite do mine that way. Well, so you messed up a couple of things. They will learn it again as they do it. And they're going to get better and better as they teach other students. The teachers become better with every student they teach. Let's say it again. The teacher becomes better with every student they teach. In most cases, the student learns more from the student, or the teacher learns more from the student than the student learns from the teacher. For that student to get good, they got to teach somebody else. They got to, it's that progression. When you teach somebody else, you learn it better because you learn it through the eyes of somebody else, and it gets fortified better. It's amazing. I have a lot of people say, Rory, you really teach well. I didn't used to. I just taught a lot of people and learned how to say it better, learn how to get there better. The reason why all the scripting and everything, it looks so amazing is because I learned from my students what they needed to hear to learn it. That's how it worked. So enjoy the instructor training, attend the calls, guys, attend all the Zooms we do. And because you're going to learn, you're constantly learning. What we do works. what we do helps people. And the better you can be a steward of the knowledge and paying it forward as far as the information, the better you're going to grow with us. We've proven that out. Okay, I recorded that on a separate device. I just stopped it so I can put that up on training. That's the new V marketing training. So everybody that said it's outdated, I just fixed it with everybody. All right. I'm going to put huge appreciation out. Linda, Niall, Sheila. I'll go over. I should call out everybody, but you guys, we have these core people that just show up and run things, right? And you guys, Sheila's working her butt off with the brain food thing, and you guys know that's going to be coming. It's going to get big. We know it's going to be huge. It's just going to take a while to get everything out and going and launching right, like getting people in. It's a progression thing. We are ahead of everything, and we're going to be spending a lot more time on that. Linda, she just protects the house, you guys. If Linda calls you to do something, I want everybody just to do it. She doesn't ask unless she really needs help. I'm gonna throw out something. Being on Goya is one of the biggest perks in marketing here. Now we just took some of our MSI, some stuff that's going on in Goya. We're adapting things, making things better. Get on Goya. You guys, Linda protects Tanya and I, and she lets us sleep at night because she takes care of the little things that go bump. If Linda reaches out to you, please, whatever she needs. Also, Niall, Dina, you guys, they never, ever say no to helping everybody build and do the stuff that they're really good at on the recruiting. And they're about to come on here in 24 minutes. I'm not sure which one of the duo is going to be on. But you guys, they put their business aside. Linda always puts her business aside to help other people, and that needs to change. We need these guys to be prominent and growing, and the way we do that is everybody else helps step up. Now I can go over, you guys. All our MSIs are great. They're on there. They're helping. You know, we have them come talk on the Tuesdays, but I want you guys to know, without the support of the community that we have, the way that we build, this wouldn't exist. We have such a foundation to go, and so I'm going to just put this out there for those of you that like to help more. You can volunteer to help. Ask Linda, where else can I help? What else can I do? Don't be bashful. Also, when there's new things that come out, those that are doing stuff on there, those are the ones that we give to it first. Tanya and I, that's where they go. All right. We've modified some things in a couple of different areas, and you know, I'll just put this out there for everybody. It's not favoritism. We just show up when you show up, and the more you show up for the community, of course, we're going to show up there. And, you know, I'll put her on the spot. Tanya and I want Linda to come like spend a week or two with us just so we can help her build her business straight on, because she's helping protect ours, everybody's. And you know, we get to go hang out with Niall and Dina from time to time. It's been a far and few between. We're gonna go over there. You guys will see us with them for several days because we want to go help them build straight ahead. We want to do that with everybody. And you know what? The time is going to come when we can touch more and more people that way, and it's the live events. We can literally focus on it. And the one thing that I want to do for the next 22 minutes, is there anybody here that isn't working B marketing right now? Raise your hand. Don't be bashful. There's several of you that are just on the fence to go. You got your PBS Vortex set up, and you said, I'm going to go Monday. Monday came and went. It's like starting a diet. Okay. Okay, so I got to walk you guys through this fun thing. And I'm going to emphasize something. We have these times throughout the week that if anybody needs help, they just got to go to a study hall. If you can't make the study hall because you got other engagements, maybe you're in the church choir, ask your instructor, your GSI, PSI, MSI, if there's any other study halls you can attend. There are. We have study halls all the time. You guys, on Thursday is meant to be a great study hall to help everybody with stuff that needs to be done. But for troubleshooting study halls, like how to fix V marketing, you guys, we're there to help on that. And you can ask questions in the chat in our study halls for that. And that's what the Monday through Friday, that's there so you can learn how things are done. But don't be bashful with your instructor. And if your instructor is not available to help you, always go up. You should know who your GSI, PSI, MSI are. All of them do the marketing throughout the week and they can get you invited. But if you don't have a study hall you can attend, ask them. They will get you on somebody's study hall where you can get help. Goes all the way up the chain, guys. And they're, you know, there's a protocol, and you guys, it is just amazing what can be done with the right help. Don't be bashful. This is a community. We help everybody regardless. Our leadership is amazing that way. And just, you know, you might have to, like, you know, and if you know, you can raise your hand up to go there. Now, I'm going to tell everybody here with their hand raised up, you got the PBS Vortex, and with the only exception of Teddy, you and I are going to do this together today. You and I are going to talk. With the exception of Teddy, everybody else here, go open up your PBS Vortex, get 100 leads, send out text number 1, and just start. Right? Pick your leads from the 101 boards or the SDAs or the SDBs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, great. I'm going to show you right now. Okay? I'm going to share my screen. We'll go back here. You're going to go to leads. You're going to log into your RRR247 CRM. You're going to log into the CRM. When we say the CRM, this is what we refer to. This is the CRM for all of us, right? Our back office is our PBS, or, you know, the Velveeta back office. We have, you know, various ones, your Savings Highway Global back office. But when we say CRM, this is what we refer to. You're going to go here to leads. Okay. Now, you have a PBS Vortex account. We're going to be pulling the leads from here, assigning them to ourselves so they show up in here. And we're going to go to this filter up here, and we're going to select that filter, and you're going to choose from the 101s. And I like you to get a mix. Like, I want everybody to start out with 100 leads. Even if you don't think you can handle it, start out with 100. Go get 25 or 50, and you're going to do 25 at a time. From the 101s, get 25 from the SDBs, 25 from the SDAs. Okay? And if you can only work certain time zones, you can try these filters, right? But otherwise, just pull from there. Leave the lists alone. You guys all have access to them, but leave those for those that are just in the legacy income system only. We try to parse out the leads just for them, so don't touch those if you have access to the other leads. Use the 101s, available SDs, A and B, and Australia, you guys, if you're an instructor, you probably don't have access to these right now because we had people taking them. Guys, if you're working Australia leads, they're worked a little bit differently, and you need to attend my trainings on that. If you want to attend the trainings on that, right now I do it once a week at 6 in the morning Eastern on Thursdays. You want to know how to get there? Go to RRR247webinars.com. You have somebody that wants to work Australia, invite them to that. Okay? I also do Israel. Even though they're not Israeli leads yet, I teach Israelis how to do it, and that's on Tuesdays. It's also on there. We're going to be doing other countries from time to time where there's just focus on that. You guys, anything on that calendar is fair game for anybody to come and show up to. Okay. You're going to come here, and I'll pick the 101s. And this is very important. Pay attention. It pulls them all up. I don't want to be picking these ones out there. It's all about the filters. I'm going to come over here to last contact and select last contact. I'm going to just look at them 25 at a time. I'll come right here. I'll click on this square. I'll go to bulk, and that selects them all 25. Okay, now if there's one of them that was already selected by somebody else, I'll unselect it. Right? Now, not all of these have the +1s. So just so you know, before you send anything out, you're going to have to go edit those and put those in. But you're going to come here to bulk actions. I'll try that again. You're going to go to last contact, and you're going to select this, which marks them for right now. Then you're going to go to assigned, and you're going to put yourself in there. And then you're going to hit confirm, and then okay. Now I don't need any more. I'm working 380 right now. I do not need any more leads today. However, I'm going to hit close. That's what you'll do, and you'll do that 4 times. 2 in the 101s or 1 in the 101s, and then SDAs and SDBs. Get a blend. And you're going to send out text number 1. Then you're going to start calling them. And you're going to follow that system. And you guys get to watch that being done in basically 15 minutes. So if you have PBS Vortex, you don't have leads, go get 100 right now. And then you're going to watch Dina or Niall, whoever's doing it, do the work, and then you start doing it alongside them. Throw yourself in the fire. Deal with the responses. Watch how we utilize the SMS. Watch how we do everything, and then get going. The first student is the one you should be the most proud of because you got something going. You got them on the phone. You did a BRT. You all have access to the scripts. Read the scripts verbatim. And if you're really in a panic, let your instructor know you got somebody on there. They will help you. Or go to your MSI, PSI, GSI. We want you to succeed. And if you're doing one, we know you're going to do another and another and another. It's getting started is always the hardest for everything. Right? And I'm going to give you an analogy that's it's sports related, but it won't be football related or fishing related. Have you guys ever been dared to go off a high dive like at the swimming pool? Okay. Now, I remember I was one that if you dared me, I would do it. I've kind of been that way. You double dare me, it's happening, and you do something ridiculous. That's how I usually got in trouble. Was I was doing a dare, and I remember this high dive at a swimming pool that was built for teaching Olympians, and we went there on a field trip. And I was dared to go off the high dive. Now, this was without permission from the teachers. This is no training. And I'm like confident. I go up there and I go there, and all of a sudden, what am I doing? This looks way higher than I thought. I'm up here, and I was frozen. And I'm like, oh man, this could go one of two ways, right? I could walk down and I'm going to hear about it from my peers forever. Or I just bite the bullet and go. Right now, I've had a little bit of notice, I had a lot of things I'd done before. I jumped off a cliff into water. Granted, it was at Lake Powell in an area where everybody else was doing it. It wasn't like it was clearly safe. This, I knew it was safe, but no one else dared go up there. I'm up there and I walked to the edge, and I was just more or less like, okay, this is just like any board. I'm just going to dive. I think I'm going to go feet first because I feel safer about that, but I got to do it. And I got ready, and the pause, and I know they're thinking that, and I'm like, I got to do something. And all I did was talk myself into going. I went to the edge of the board. I didn't run and jump. I just went a little slower than normal. I did my poise. I went up. I went down, feet first, and it was a longer drop than it felt long forever, but it was fine. I got up and went and did it again. By this time, now I'm getting in trouble, right? But I went and dove again, and I remember that feeling of like I was scared and I overcame it, and it felt good. I didn't kill myself. I wasn't doing something life-threatening. It was something, having some instruction before might have been good, but I jumped off other things. Well, what we're doing here, you've all had conversations with people before. Nobody here has gone their whole life without talking to somebody, right? So yeah, it might just be a higher element because you don't know. You might feel frozen to get started, but it's going to be safe. You're not going to say something ridiculous. You're going to follow a script. You're not going to do a belly flop. You know better, right? You're just go feet first into it. What's the worst thing that could happen? They tell you no. Okay, you figured out somebody's not going to do it. Great, go on to the next one. But I tell you, once you get started in the campaigning, once you start sending the text message one and you get responses, those are people that are easier to talk to. And this is why this works so much better than what we did before, is because if you have people coming to you, a lot easier to engage. When you start making the calls out, that's because you got confidence to start calling out. So if you start with the 100, you're going to get engagement that you can follow up with people that are responding to you. Yeah, I want to talk Tuesday. I want to talk now. I want to talk in 2 hours. Just get going. Get over the freeze. Don't make excuses. I'll start Monday. No, start now. Send out the text messages while you're watching Dina and or Niall, whoever's doing it today. Just get going. It'll be the best thing you ever did, and you're going to start getting that forward momentum. I can go over this over and over again, and we will. We're a broken record about it, but you got to get started. All right. I'm not there to push you off the edge, and I don't want to push you off the edge. I want you to willingly just trust the system, trust in your God-given talents to communicate with other people to get going. Because the person you're going to talk to is the same person you were when you came in this program. right? They're probably thinking it's a scam. They're looking for a solution. You know, they probably needed to come to us 2 years ago. They need to hear from a real person and connect and then see what we have. I have no idea how this works until you talk to them. You guys, it's one of those things that it's not even a challenge. Just go do it. Jump. You know the water's safe. You know it's deep enough to handle you. As long as you don't do some stupid cannonball thing that could, disrupt the way that how high you are, right? Don't go off script. Trust the script. Trust the process. You'll be just fine. And you know it. Everybody here knows it. I'm seeing your eyes. You know it. Just get going. And don't put it off till Monday. But work 100. And the thing is you're going to deal with those that respond. Those that don't respond, you're going to call when you can call them. You have time to call them? Call them. You don't have time to call them, just deal with the ones that came in. And then Monday you can start calling out if you want. But once you do one BRT and you get one student to come in on a PBS, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, I should have been doing this a long time ago. This was nothing as scary as I thought it would be. And this is the way we teach you to fish. And once you get one, you can get another, and now you can start building teams and helping everybody do what we were helping everybody do already. And I'm going to go back to the timing. It's mid-July. You start building your pipeline up for the next 90 days. And see, I know this so well. And it's like, I got it common, right? I'm to the point now where I can go, treat this. This is easy for me because I've been doing this and doing this and doing this. So it's so comfortable. And it's going to be uncomfortable until it's comfortable. So make the uncomfortable comfortable. You know what else comes with it? The comfort of income. You want more and more money coming in to help you achieve your goals and your financial needs and take the stress off? This is where it happens, folks. This is how we do it. So get your pipeline going so that when these, we always have constant promotions, but you guys, it's going to come to the point where we're going to start earning cruises. We're going to start earning our way to go to Europe for an amazing May 5th event. We've been telling everybody to get their passports. So at this point, if you're brand new, get your passport if you don't have one. We're traveling, folks. RRR247 is about global growth. Not just staying in your state, not just staying in the United States, even though it's vast. We're growing. We're here to grow and give people amazing lives. And we don't want to be alone in it. We want to share that with everybody. So get your passport. We're going to have a cruise coming up. We already know that. We're going to have qualifications start to earn the cruise. Okay, it's an incentive trip. You can earn your way to the cruise. You can earn your airfare. You can earn everything. You can earn a better stateroom. Everything you can earn on the cruise. And it's not so much the cruise, it's the journey to earn it that's going to help develop you as a person. Help you develop your skills to help your team to be better, to be a better leader and supporter of the dreams of the people we're helping. All of this is circular. All of this is for great, good things to happen for you and other people. The more we help other people get their goals, the more we get our goals. I'm here to help you get your goals, telling you what you need to do. You want to know what to do to get your income you need? Be marketing, folks. Yes, I want you to post your PBS ads. Yes, I want you to build pages. That absolutely contributes. But building a team and creating leverage is the strongest thing we have, and we use all of it. We use all of it. I get customers, I get members in Avella Vita, I get people that sign up in Savings Highway Global, all for my blogging, all the time. That's the benefit of doing that and pushing that out there. But if you want to rely on things, rely on now money, so you have the weekly incomes coming in that you need to be doing B marketing, because that is professional paid marketing to happen now. Everything else adds to it. Everything it's all part of what we do. But you want to hit it, you want to hit it hard, and you want to get steady at it. Well, if you start out with 100 leads and you start working that, so what if it takes you 2 weeks to get through them all? At least you got started. What'll happen is success will give you the acceleration of believing in yourself. And you're talking to people that want to do something like this. So as long as you're following the BRT script, you're practicing and getting better. But as you're practicing, it's just like fishing. If you've never fished before, if you're throwing out a line and someone's teaching you how to do it, you're going to catch a fish eventually. It's going to happen. So you're pushing this out there. And the thing is these people want a solution. They want to see it. You're not telling them how everything works. You're just connecting with them, building a relationship and trust, and then trusting the videos to do the marketing. Once that Keystone video works so well, they watch that video, they're going to get a PBS or not. They get a PBS, now we do session 1. The session 1 video works so well, they watch that, they're going to get it. Then you get them in their PBS, you show them you walk them how things work. They watch the Bella Vita video, they're going to probably want the products and they're going to want the opportunity. It makes sense. This is how we make our money. What are we selling? What are we marketing? This answers everything. You guys, that's all laid out. It's perfection. You just got to help grow your teams. You want to help your instructor, your MSI, PSI, GSI that are there to help support you? Help grow the team. We all win by growing. We all win by growing, folks. All right. I'm going to tell you what's happening, and I feel it, and I want everybody involved, especially those that are showing up on Saturdays. We're going to start growing more and more than ever. We're going to have record paces, and we're going to start developing all over because we built the foundation right. If everybody here just added one PBS student a week, we would break all sorts of records in everything we're in. Everything. Bella Vita, the PBS Vortex, getting the education out there. Everything happens by us all being consistent to do something forward. All right. In the Millionaire course, I talk about getting 5 PBSs a week because that's the pace you need to be at. Every time I run my spreadsheets, every time I look at everything, that's what it is. And I'm really close on those Tuesday nights, guys. I'm going to start opening up more to it, but we got to get those going. And it's all about being on the phone. The more people you're on the phone with, the more presentations you do, the more you're going to bring in the team. Trust in the 100. You do 100 and go. Dina, when you're ready, I'm going to, guys, take a couple minutes, bio break, grab some water. We're going to start right pretty much right then. I'm going to stop my YouTube live. If you guys are on YouTube and you want to see how this goes, go log into your CRM, go to the Zoom room, and you can see it. We're not going to show this on YouTube.